Check 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need. Get over the fear and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello, everybody. Michael Quarles with podcast number 124. Today we have the 5 questions sent in by real estate investors who had a question and needed an answer. And remember, if you have a question, send it to support@bsffacademy.com. One more time, support@bsffacademy.com. Here we go. Question number 1. Can you please explain how much scrubbing you do of your direct mail list? For example, do you skip trace on return mail? Absolutely not. My return mail goes in the trash can. I'm a firm believer that I have a business model with a business system, and that business system tells me to send out X amount of pieces of mail every day. And because I do enough marketing, I don't have to scrub or try to find those folks that don't want to necessarily be found. So yes, there's opportunities in finding them. I have a coaching student out of Philadelphia that he does a lot of that, finding abandoned and vacant house owners, and he does quite well. However, if you have enough marketing budget, you can get away from having to do that and just go out there and market for the people who want to raise their hand and say, come buy my house. It's not a surprise to them that they want to sell it. We don't have to track them down. We don't have to hunt them down. Don't do any scrubbing. Now, I use some very serious filters, and the filters really drive performance, and that's a different question. But yeah, I don't do anything to skip trace, nothing. Everything goes in the trash can. I don't even look at it. I don't take the names off my list. I use the list for 6 months at a time and recycle the list. And keep in mind, guys, my list is pretty good size, so yeah, I don't do anything. Don't want to do anything. It's way too much work. Question number 2. If you have a caller who is asking market price for his property, do you put them in your follow-up list and call them back every 30 days? Absolutely. Everybody gets put in our follow-up. Whether they ask us to take out their phone number off our list or their address off our list or whatever it is, we're putting everybody in our follow-up. We're going to call them at 15, 30, 60, and 90, and that's going to be it. And if we have grabbed their email, they're going to get 29 emails from us. If they text us their information in the beginning, they're going to get 3 texts from us, and they're going to get multiple pieces of mail from us anyway. So follow-up is very, very important, and you should spend some time creating your follow-up systems, because we know we get a lot of contracts because we're following up. And just because someone doesn't want to sell a house today doesn't mean in 4 months or 3 months or 2 months they haven't decided to sell because of the touching system. Keep in mind, marketing is about touching folks. The car that you guys are driving, the pickup trucks that you guys are driving, you did not buy it the first time you saw it. You have seen it, you have seen it, you have seen it over and over again, either on the road, going down the road, in commercials. Something has driven you to drive it and to buy it. So it wasn't an accident. Those are called touches. Advertising is all about touches and repeat and repeat and repeat. So we're going to change the prospect's mind, or their mind is going to be changed eventually, from I don't want to sell my house at full price to I want to sell my house and I'm willing to sell it to you at a discount to cause it to get sold. Question number 3. I have 2 separate sellers who both have double wides they want to sell. They have brick foundations and the FHA approved straps. Do you suggest I move forward on these or think I should stay away? As long as they're no longer licensed by the motor vehicle department and they're now assessed by the assessor's office for taxes, and if they're FHA strapped down to the ground, then that would tell me that they're no longer motor vehicles and that they are actually permanent real property. So absolutely fall forward.
Thanks for listening to Buy, Sell, Fix, Flip. We'll be right back. Are you running out of leads? It's time you tried Yellow Letters at yellowletters.com. Get motivated seller leads through Yellow Letters, postcards, zip letters, typed professional letters, greeting cards, door hangers, and business cards. Yellow Letters is a full-service marketing company created with your success in mind. Get the personal attention you need to get your direct mail campaign started and get in touch at yellowletters.com.
And we are back in 3, 2, 1.
Question number 4. I'm having an immense amount of trouble finding an agent who would get me average days on market that I need. What would you do? What options do I have? Keep calling. There's thousands upon thousands of agents in each city. Call the Prudential. Just sit there, go, hey, what's the average days on market in 93307? Really? Cool, thank you. Call another agent. Hey, what's the average days on market 93308? Oh, cool, thanks. Call another one. Sometimes you just have to call 15 of them. So it would be better if you make relationships with real estate professionals, because we are going to utilize them, especially the professional ones. The non-professional ones, sometimes we'll utilize them, unfortunately. Well, not willingly, but we'll find out that they're not professional while we're trying to utilize them. But you're going to need a relationship, so build a relationship with them. And one of the problems is they don't want to give us the time because they don't know we're serious. Make sure you present yourself professionally and that you're serious, and then you'll get the time. But they're like everybody else. I mean, they're not making any money unless they sell a house. So if you don't have a house to sell, they're not going to make any money on you. You have to let them know that they will make some money from you. It's going to start with a BPO process. It's going to start with then go to the listing process. They're going to make some money. You're going to buy X amount of houses. You explain that to them. Make a superstar out of them by giving them all of your listings. So create a relationship. But if you can't, call Century 21 up, call Prudential up, call your Caldwell Banker, whatever they are, and just keep calling until you find one. Question number 5. I have a potential seller who has a property that is on 16 acres with 2 houses, 2 lakes, a number of greenhouses that is zoned commercial B4. The B4 is not like it's zoned commercial now, but the zoning is B4. According to the seller, there is a $10,000 land bond to close. Not sure what that is or what that means. The seller owns it free and clear. Is this something worth pursuing, or should I kick this one? What other info would I need to find out? The seller has also said that he has a current offer from a neighbor to purchase at $180,000. Well, I'm a firm believer that I don't try to be something I'm not. Like, I'm not a 16-acre, 2-home, 2-lake, greenhouse zone commercial B4 buyer. So I know how to buy single-family houses real well. I have found that the harder the property is to appraise, the more sucking of my time it's going to take. And it's going to be like one of those, gosh, I should have never started that project. And so if I know that's going to be the case going in, I'm just going to kick it. I'm going to kick it to the curb. I'm going to go grate my marketing produced crap. But, someone else, my crap might be somebody else's fortune. So, this is where when you create your relationships in your local market and you start, networking, maybe you have someone in your local market that this is their ideal piece of real estate. Well, that's why we're always networking. We're always talking to realtors. We're always talking to lenders. We're always talking to contractors. We're always doing some things so we can build a network of folks that when we have an opportunity that really isn't an opportunity for us, we could possibly send it to one of our new network people, and it could be an opportunity for them. Don't be greedy and try to sell it to them. Do them a favor. Say, hey, I came across this property, and since you're a land guy, maybe it's something that you can benefit from. Here's the information from the seller about the seller. But if it's not residential, single family, kick it and give it away or something. But I wouldn't do anything with it. Maybe if the same person asked that question that's having a hard time finding a realtor to give them the days on market, maybe you tell a realtor, I'll trade you an opportunity here for information on days on market. But guys and gals, I think one of the first things that you have to do, besides deciding to be a real estate investor, is set up those relationships. I mean, it's very, very important that we have those people in our arsenal. We have the plumbers, electricians, the lenders, the realtors, the closing companies, the attorneys, those professional people that we're going to rely on for information and knowledge that we don't have at our fingertips yet because we haven't been around enough in the real estate business to understand all the different factors that go into buying property and selling property. So start creating. Don't be shy. Man, introduce yourself as a real estate investor because you are, and don't ever tell anybody you're brand new. The last time you were brand new, you were spanked on the butt and made to cry. You have a lifetime of experience, and so you're not brand new, and find and create those relationships. I always tell my coaching students, you probably didn't know your best friend before you met him. So imagine this. The worst thing that could happen is maybe you just create a really good friendship with somebody by going up to strangers and creating relationships with them. Man, what a great thing. I know I didn't know my wife before I met her. And it was a cool thing that I actually went up and met her. So, man, my best friend. And then I married her. I mean, go figure. So start creating those relationships. Build your business inwardly and outwardly. So concentrate on it. Do those things. If you're a coaching student, you know you're supposed to be talking to 104 realtors a year, 104 lenders a year, 104 contractors a year. And it's just an everyday thing. Then they go inside of your center of influence. Man, can you imagine if you had 312 people you don't know today in 1 year inside of your center of influence that you can call and talk to on a weekly basis, monthly basis, and ask, who do you know that's looking to sell a house? Man, that's cool stuff. Yellow Letters go out of business if everybody would just use their center of influence to market with. You wouldn't need to send a single postcard. You wouldn't need to hang a single bandit sign. You wouldn't have to do any of those things if you just did some of this networking on purpose. Now, you wouldn't buy 500 houses either unless you sent out marketing. So there is a trade-off to marketing, I guess. Hey, speaking of good stuff, I don't know if you guys have listened to all the podcasts or not, but coaching program's back open. I appreciate those of you that waited long for me to open it back up, but it's back in full gear. And come on in and let's get some houses bought. I was talking to one of my coaching students yesterday, Chris, and Chris has got it like he's getting this big old fat head. Not really. He's really humble. I'm just teasing him because I know he listens to the podcast. But he's bought 17 houses this year. 17. It's friggin' awesome. So if you want to be a Chris, just come on board. It's a fun time. And that's pretty amazing if you think about it, going from 0 to 17 in 6 months. That's amazing. So, he should challenge himself. I'm going to challenge him to double that by the end of the year. If you get 17 in 6 months, you should be able to get 34 by the end of the year. And, because the learning curve's already there, you ought to get more than that probably. He probably should set his goal at 50 and be happy camper, take his wife out and kids on a vacation and enjoy life. It's a good thing being a real estate investor. And remember, Chris, it's not all for us. We got to give it to those people who are, unfortunately, they can't do things for themselves. And we can. So think about that. Start planning for the day that you're going to acknowledge those folks that are on this earth with the gifts that you've been given by the person you know that gave it to you. So fall forward, guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.